Right, moving on to the private owned properties, there is the single room. About the single room here, the single rooms are usually one room in an apartment. During my early days in the UK, I'd lived in such apartments. I give you for example, in a particular one I lived then, the landlord of the house lived downstairs. So I lived in one of the rooms, some other persons lived in other rooms. So we get to share the toilet upstairs, and then we all get to share the kitchen downstairs, including the landlord. So what I can consider pros in a shared room, a single room in a shared apartment, is the Wi-Fi in the apartment. I do not have to pay for the Wi-Fi because the landlord already paid for the Wi-Fi, and everything is inclusive in my bill. Also, I didn't have to pay for utilities, gas and all of that because it's all inclusive in my bill. So it's very affordable. What I pay, my rent then was about £550. I'm talking 2017 thereabout, for one room in London, southeast London. Considering it further, it's a place that could give you a head start. And if you want to look at my own rent, my rent is actually expensive in comparison to what you can find in some other areas, even here in London. So it could be a little cheaper in some other areas, say probably 450 as and then. And then if you take it further outside of London, it could be far cheaper than the £550 rent for a room. But remember, I said all of my bills were inclusive. So what I will consider a con in staying in a single room in a shared apartment is privacy. There really isn't no privacy because the person in the next room can know what's going on in your room. As a matter of fact, I guess even with the way the houses here in the UK are built, it's literally like wood, something like that. Some parts of the houses are wood. So if your voice is louder, if you're on the phone, probably your neighbor could be hearing. If you want to open your door to use the toilet, your neighbor could also be coming to use the toilet. So that kind of thing. Somebody might be cooking downstairs and you might have to wait for them to finish using the gas before you can come and do your own cooking. So generally it is what it is, right? With living in such apartments, if you're starting off, you really wouldn't mind because you have so many other things to worry about. Trust me, that would just be minimal. So if you start from there in order to put yourself together, save up some money, then it's not bad at all. Then the next apartment under the private is studio flats. So with studio flats comes everything inclusive. You have your bathroom, toilet, and then your mini kitchen all in one place. So one of the good thing about it is of course privacy. So you have all of your own thing in your own space, and you can do whatever you want to do whenever you want to do it without having to stumble upon someone. And what I'll consider a con for the studio flat is it's not so family friendly, in the sense that it's really small, unless it's usually fitted to one person. Even when you're renting it, the landlords usually will tell you that they cannot take more than one person, or they cannot take more than two persons if at all you want to share, and then they might kind of like top up the bill a little bit. So these are the things that you and the landlord will need to negotiate. Next apartment under the private sector are flats. So there is a 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, 4 bedroom, what have you. So the pros of the flats here, it can be really spacious. If you have a family, then you have nothing to worry about, as you can have all of the space you need for everything you have, for your children, for yourself as a person. You guys will not be struggling with space. Just like the regular flats, any and everything you have will have space for itself, including your car. With flats, if you do have a car, you get parking space as well. And then speaking of the con of staying in the flat, is all bills on you. All bills on you, honey. You're gonna have to pay all of your bills, the utilities, the blah blah blah. So you just have to be ready financially to live in a flat. And then lastly are the full apartments. So with the full apartments here comes a full house, like what I currently live in. You have your backyard, you have your parking space, you have your driveway, you have your toilet, you have upstairs, you have downstairs, you have everything you need in your own space. When it comes to privacy, you have maximum privacy because you could decide to remain upstairs and do whatever you want to do, while visitors, other members of the family or friends, everything else can be somewhere else. With the full apartment, you have the full package. All that you probably want from an apartment, you can get with the full apartment. There are people who even have this have barbecue, in their backyard, in their back garden. Some persons use their back garden for a proper garden, decorate it and do, manner of personalization and customization to it. So with your full apartment, you have all of the flexibility and every customization and personalization you might want to do. And then the cons of it, of course, as you would expect, is it will be expensive to run, a full apartment in terms of heating during winter, because you're going to have heaters running from up to down the apartment. So it's going to cost you more money. And if you do have a back garden that has grasses, you're going to have to take care of all of that yourself. You're going to have to mow the grass, bring out time to sweep the entire house, just the extra work that comes from having a bigger apartment. For all of the apartments mentioned, do you have contributions? Have you had experiences? Let us know in the comment section. Leave all of your thoughts and I'll catch you in the next video.